Hello, everyone. I'm Jen Hoffman from healthymoving.com. I am so excited to introduce you to Aly Miller today. She is actually a longtime student of mine. She's been working with me in my Coaching and Challenge movement program for years. But about 6 months ago, she started with me in a program I call End Self-Sabotage Mindset Mastery. And we have a Facebook group for that program. And Aly posted a story, a quick little blurb in that Facebook group earlier this week that made me have tears of joy. And I literally asked my kids, stood up and started clapping. I was so excited about her story. And I am so grateful, Aly, that you were willing to come and share. I totally believe that your story has the power to impact lives greatly. And I am so grateful to you for being willing to share it with everyone today. So give us the background. Tell us the quick story that you shared.
Well, 4 years ago, I decided that I wanted to run a half marathon before I turned 40. So I started running. And then that was toward the end of losing weight. I wanted to get healthy, which to me meant I needed to be lighter. So I started running, and I ran hundreds of miles in just a few months. And I started training to where I was running usually between 10 and 20 miles a week. And that number on the scale just did not move. And I changed my diet and it still didn't move. And everyone kept saying, well, you're more active, your body's holding on to things, you know, muscle weighs more than fat, which isn't true. But all of those things happen. And just for the last 3.5 years, that number on the scale did not move at all. And I grew to be kind of comfortable with it because I knew my body was changing. I knew that I could do things I never could do before. I ran not only the half, but a number of half marathons and a full marathon and all sorts of things, and just weighed exactly the same.
And then you shifted, you said you shifted your mindset to just about 6 months ago to just say, this is my weight, right? To just accept it, or to stop focusing on wanting the number to go down.
Yes, because it was making me crazy. I'm doing all these things. I've added in cross training. I'm working out harder than ever. I'm stronger. I'm faster, but I'm not lighter. And I just couldn't get past that number on the scale. And then when we started the mastery classes for the mindset work, it made me question, why is that number what's driving my success or failure? That number is meaningless because I am accomplishing all of the goals I set out to achieve. So what does it matter what this arbitrary scale happens to say about my gravitational pull? It doesn't mean anything. So I stopped weighing in just completely about 4 months ago. And then I put on a pair of jeans I've been wearing forever, and my mom said, why are those so baggy? And they had just come out of the dryer. So I was like, I don't know. So I got on the scale and I had lost 10 pounds.
And I feel like it's important to note that this weigh-in that you did was literally immediately after returning from a vacation to Disney World, where most people would feel like, and you did not like even try to consider what you were eating while you were here. Although Disney vacations include a lot of walking, I will for sure say that. But I was so happy when you posted about the weight loss, not because of the weight loss, but because of this thing that I say to people all the time. And the reason I asked Aly to share her story with you is because it's one thing for me to say it. Everybody knows I'm a health and movement educator. It's one thing hearing it from me, but it's something else to hear it from somebody else, that weight loss, if and when it happens, should be a secondary benefit of a bigger change. Can you talk about the bigger change that happened over the last few months, of how you're feeling and who you are now, and what you're experiencing that you think could be that the weight loss is just like a side benefit of that bigger change?
Yes, when I stopped focusing on the weight loss and just started focusing on what makes me feel good, I found that I moved more purposely, and it was less of a chore and less of an obligation to do the healthy things I knew I needed to do. And because I felt good, I wasn't turning to food to comfort me because I was already happy with who I was. And so I didn't get into a guilt and shame spiral every time I had a bowl of ice cream. I just ate the ice cream because it felt like what I wanted, and I ate less of it, and I ate it less often, not because I was restricting calories, but because I didn't need it to fill an emotional gap, because I was already doing the work to address my own emotional needs separate from eating and exercising.
I want to be totally frank with everybody, and we won't get into the details of all of it, but Aly, in the program, we do coaching calls. I've been very closely following Aly's story, and she has not, it isn't that she hasn't done any work over the last 4 months. She's done pretty heavy mindset work and shifted some heavy stories that she was carrying for a really long time. But what I always want people to understand is that our health is first and foremost a mindset issue. And the stories that we are telling ourselves, most of the time subconsciously, if we don't look at those stories, if we don't bring them to the surface and decide whether they're true or not, Aly can tell you, she was like, yeah, why am I saying this? This isn't true anymore, about a lot of the stories that she was telling herself. It's not easy work and it's not simple, but the benefits of doing it, it's whether you do the work or not, the stories are running and they're impacting your life. So you can ignore it, or you can just pull it up to your consciousness, deal with it, process it, and say, okay, these are the beliefs that I want to believe about myself today. This is the mindset. These are the thoughts that I'm going to choose today. And Aly has done such inspiring work about paying attention to her thoughts and actively choosing the healthiest thoughts possible. And as you can tell, it's absolutely reaping many benefits. Can you say the last sentence? Can you share the last sentence you shared in the story? Because I think it's the biggest win of all of it, is that what you know about this weight loss.
This is not related to any kind of fad or gimmick. It is just healthy, sustainable, long-term lifestyle change that will stay. This is not something I'm going to rebound. It's healthy for my body. It isn't damaging, and it's going to be something that I can maintain long-term. Because I've set myself free from the emotional sandbags that I was carrying around my neck.
Yes, I think that is what's so important, the sustainability, because when we're choosing a fad or a temporary solution to achieve our goals, there's always a fear in the back of our minds, maybe subconsciously, that we're not going to be able to sustain it. So I think that's so powerful. Aly, your story brings me the happiest of tears. You are an inspiration to watch. I am so honored to support you and to have a front row seat in the cheering section for Aly Miller's life. Thank you so much for sharing. For everybody, if you want to learn more about this, I do a free class. I'm teaching a free class. It's called Why Most Diet and Exercise Programs Fail and How You Can Succeed. It's absolutely free. And I walk you through really understanding how our health is a mindset issue. And I share with you some of the thoughts and beliefs that you need to shift so that you can take the very best care of yourself today in that class. I'll put the link for it here with this video. I would absolutely love to see you in that class. Aly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.